Sati, awaken to the present.
A warm welcome to Sati. We talk about awakening to the present, mindfulness as a way of life, as a daily practice, and a way that will cleanse us from all negativities to embrace the true meaning of life, we say. Today on Sati, we've invited to discuss the mindfulness and the path to liberation. All the way from West Virginia in the United States, we have the co-abbot of the Bhavana Society of West Virginia, Bhante Ethkandawaka Saddhajeewa thero. Venerable thero, most respectfully, I would like to welcome you to the show, to Sati here. We'd like to start off asking you what mindfulness means to you, to your teacher, and importantly, through the Buddhist philosophy, the Buddha's words himself.
Yes. Thank you very much for raising these questions. The word mindfulness is a very famous word. I would like to name that word as a billions worth word. Mundane world, there are a lot of sellers who are selling this word, mindfulness, and who became millionaires because of this word. That much popularity is there with this word, mindfulness. But I don't think most of them are not connecting with the real meaning of mindfulness, what Buddha meant. There's a word very related to mindfulness which we call awareness. In your theme you use awakening. These words coming through that original Pali word which we call Sati. According to the Noble Eightfold Path, we are practicing Buddhism, the teachings of the Buddha, following Noble Eightfold Path to develop our Sati, mindfulness. Mindfulness means not awareness, according to the Buddhist explanations. When we are talking about mindfulness, there are two words that we have to keep in our mind, which we call Yoniso Manasikara and Sati Sampajanya. These two Pali words are very important there. Yoniso Manasikara means who can see the origin of your thoughts and then paying attention to get rid of that unwholesome roots there, and who are trying to maintain wholesome thoughts, that is Yoniso Manasikara. So that is the base of mindfulness. But when you go to some places, you might hear this kind of announcement that they are making, even in the train stations and even airports. Be mindful to take your belongings with you. Be mindful, there's steps. So these are not about the mindfulness which we want to translate Sati, the Pali word. Pali word is that. It is Yoniso Manasikara and Sati Sampajanya. That is completely 100% wholesome and connecting with the wisdom, that word, which is very important, the word wisdom. Sati, next step becoming concentration. Sati always connecting with concentration. Sati is the path for our wisdom, to gain wisdom. Sati is the base to gain wisdom in this path. So, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. These three are working together. As Buddhist practitioner, what we are willing? We are willing to realize the nature. The word that we use, awaken, enlightenment, to realize the truth. We are not living in the truth because we are mundane, full of desire, full of hatred, full of ignorance. So we don't have mindfulness there. So then we have an idea in our Buddhist practice to get rid of this ignorance, desire and hatred. To get rid of desire, hatred and ignorance, there's a path. In that path, there are 3 steps that we have to achieve. Mindfulness is the base there. Who able to attain or develop their mindfulness, they are the people who can attain to next step, which we call concentration. The people who are in the concentration, they have wonderful opportunity. There's explanations in Dhammapada, Natti janang apanyassa panya natti ajayato yammi janancha panyacha save nibbana santike. There is no concentration without wisdom. No wisdom without concentration. One who has wisdom and concentration is close to peace and emancipation. As Buddhist follower, what they are willing to attain enlightenment. That is their purpose. Attaining enlightenment is, now you have to keep in your mind, it is not something that you can attain just making wishes. Normally when we go to funeral homes, each and every speaker might be make wishes at the end of their talks, may you attain Nibbana. It is not something that you can achieve through these wishes. It is your gaining yourself. It is something gaining yourself. The way there is no concentration without wisdom. Who has concentration and wisdom, they are the people who are close to Nibbana.
Bhante, you make a very interesting connection, but I'm trying to understand now. We say Lord Buddha, during his uncountable, infinite number of rebirths through samsara, we say there was a wish to attain Buddhahood, to awaken. So what is this awakening that we seek? An enlightenment of the Buddha. And there is also Lord Buddha who preaches to us the levels of attaining or going towards Nibbana or the end of rebirth. We say Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami and Arihat. Once returner, non-returner. You will be able to give us a better understanding of how we understand this through this while adopting Sati as a way of life.
Yes. Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arihat, these are the stages of sainthood level. Through our spiritual growing, these are the achievements that we can achieve for our final attainment, enlightenment. That is our goal. That is the meaning of awakening. So, as you started with your question, there were millions of years the Buddha was practicing as a bodhisattva. He had met 1200,000 Buddha just making wishes himself, yes, I want to become a Buddha. 1200,000 Buddhas time periods means uncountable time periods. And then another meeting 1200,000 Buddhas, he made wishes using words. I want to become Buddha. As we know, there are 24 Buddhist eras. He made vows in front of another Lord Buddha, who the Bodhisattva. So in this manner, yes, of course, we have to develop our energy and effort. To develop our energy and effort, yes, we have to make vows and we have to make determinations and we have to make our mind very strong and powerful to continue this practice. If you don't have that energy and effort, there's no way to continue this practice. That is something else. Therefore, yes, we have to make wishes. But you can't make wishes for me to attain enlightenment. But you can give some good wishes, good heart, good thoughts for me. It's accepting or rejecting, it's up to me.
Bhante, we continue to wonder now in modern day society, whether it's the Western or Eastern cultures, now everybody talks about our purpose of life individually. Sometimes when we stumble upon challenges, even random people would say, seek the purpose of your life.
That
But
is
what
very
is
important
this?
actually. You know, around the world, people actually, in this modern world, particularly who born in this 21st century, they are struggling to find the purpose of their life. Not only them, even the previous one. That's why we are wandering in this samsara. We don't know the purpose of this life. It doesn't matter which country you are living, which religion that you are practicing, what kind of culture that you have, it doesn't matter. We all have one purpose in our life. Each and every human beings, not only the even human beings, even the animals, they also have same purpose. What is that purpose? To be happy, to gain happiness. We can take an example in our life. When we were little one as a child, we went to school. For what? To be happy. And we went to universities, graduating from schools, high schools, and then we went to university. For what? To be happy. And we want to start a job. We started. For what? To be happy. We want to buy houses. For what? To be happy. We want to marry. For what? To be happy. We want to make children. For what? To be happy. We are asking promotion in our job. For what? To be happy. We earn money. For what? To be happy. Each and every action based on to be happy. Happiness is the goal. It doesn't matter what ethnic group that you are belongs, which country you are living, what kind of religions that you are practicing, it doesn't matter. At the end, we want to be happy. The Buddha is the one and only philosopher, religious leader, teacher who explained the path to establish our inner happiness. Why we are not able to be happy? Because there are three barriers that we are maintain all the time. What are these three barriers? Ignorance. Not we are touching the reality, that is ignorance. And we have desire. When someone living with ignorance and desire means, then next things would be naturally arise there. What is that? Anger. Anger rising. So around the world that you can see, between two peoples and the two countries, all these conflicts happening because of ignorance and desire. All these conflicts are starting because of ignorance and desire. So therefore, the Buddha gave us a path to practice ourselves, to control our desire, to control our ignorance. When we are able to control our desire and ignorance, same time we can control our unwholesome thoughts regarding jealous and hatred, all these unwholesome thoughts.
Bhante, you mentioned about inner peace.
Yes.
I like to maybe talk a little about that. Inner happiness also. This happiness that we're seeking, whether we go for a university degree, marriage, have children, is that not inner happiness? How does this deviate from the inner happiness that the Buddhist philosophy pushes us to achieve individually?
Yeah, inner happiness. When we are talking about inner happiness, directly we have to talk about jhanas, sotapanna, sakadagami, anagami, arya. These are the stage of inner happiness. But even mundane person, yes, you can develop your practices. Through your practices, you can gain some degrees of inner happiness. But through these material gains, there is no way to develop your inner happiness. But these materials are necessary for this life to have a comfortable situation there. If you don't have a house, you are not comfortable there. If you don't have enough clothes, you are not comfortable. If you don't have enough food, you are not comfortable. Therefore, there's a particular sutta, Pattakama Sutta, and also particularly Singalovada Sutta. Very important thing is the four basics. These are requisites. Food, lodging, medicine, these are and also clothes. These are very important for our life. If you don't have these things, you are in trouble. You don't have happiness there. You don't have calm mind there. You are struggling. You are suffering a lot than the natural suffering. So therefore, as a first thing, yes, of course, we have to gain these things. How we have to gain these things? Well, applying the teachings of the Buddha, we have to gain these things. We use the word dhammika, the word dhammika. Dhammika means following and respecting the natural law. You have to gain your wealth, your requisites. If you are not able to gain these things following the Dhamma, respecting the natural law, you are not able to gain your happiness. For example, we need money. When you go to a store to buy some things to eat, you need money. That is medium. That is the media. So then you have to gain money. How you have to gain money? The Buddha emphasized to gain money, there are professionals that you can apply according to the Buddha's explanations. There are professionals that you're not supposed to apply. Selling weapons, selling chemicals which is harmful for all living beings, and stealing money is not something good. And so basically you have to observe 5 precepts, and particularly keep in your mind 5 precepts means not just only for the Buddhists. 5 precepts are the laws about regarding the natural laws. It is for all living beings. For example, killing. Who like to die? Is there anyone who are living with pure mind and clean mind without any psycho disease? They don't like to die. And things that belongs to you, you like to keep with you. If someone disturbing you, you don't like it. That is also very natural. And the third one, sensual misconduct, which is very important in this modern world that we have to address. We have very narrow thoughts about this sensual misconduct. Sense faculties means eye, ear, nose, tongue and the mind. These are the sense faculties. So if someone misusing these sense faculties, that is sensual misconduct. But in narrow way, they are taking only about this sexuality. That is not the sensuality and sexuality, two different things. So therefore, if someone stay in front of the screen more than normal time, that is also they are abstaining from sensuality. They are misusing their sense faculties. That is also kamesamichachara. If someone eating too much, that is also kamesamichachara. If someone sleeping too much, that is also kamesamichachara.
Where you overly pamper a particular sense of yours.
Yes. So therefore, this is also natural law. You know, if someone not abstaining from sensual pleasure, so then they are in trouble, really in trouble. Therefore, this is natural law. And line, you like your confidence. Whenever you are going, whatever you are doing, you like to have that confidence with you. If you don't have that confidence, you are uncomfortable there. So therefore, to develop your confidence, yes, of course, we need the people to be trustworthy. So not to lie. That is universal. It is not only for a particular group of people who are going to particular places. And the fifth one, using drugs and alcohol. We live in with drowsy. We always boost with the different reasons. Wealth, education, the country that where you are living, the facilities that you have, about your power, about your the body power, mind power. You have already all these things to be conceit yourself. I am the person, I am the powerful man, something like that. You have your ego. So therefore you don't want to take anything extra. That's why the Buddha, not Buddha, in the society already established this law not to use drugs and alcohol, abstaining from drugs and alcohol. This is which basically, this is we call Panchasila in Buddhist tradition. But actually this is not just only for the Buddhists, this is for all living beings. If someone willing to be happy, if there are steps they have to develop, mindfulness, concentration and wisdom. To gain wisdom, yes, of course, you have to develop your this morale. This morality is very important. That is spiritual growing. If someone developing these 5 precepts, applying to their day-to-day life, their mindfulness is increasing there. Why? For example, I would like to share a wonderful story that we learn in our childhood.
Of course.
Which we call, you might remember, Puhul Hora Karendani, that
certainly.
story. You know, there was a farmer who had a green thumb. He was very successful farmer. He had a farmland. He did a lot of growings there, vegetables, fruits and things. There was special things which we call ash melon. Every day when he go to his farm, he was checking all these fruits, seeing all the fruits, his productions. He was very happy, and day by day, looking all these things, took care of him very well. Somehow, one day evening, while he was there, he noticed this ash melon is ready to pick up now. But he thought, not today, this is evening. Normally farmers are not harvesting in the evening, they like to harvest in the morning. So then he thought to himself, Palavinde morning would be the best day to pick it up, harvest his first crop. So then, somehow Palavinde morning, as a first duty, he went to the place where ash melon was. Then he was looking, he couldn't find. Somebody had taken it. Then he was very upset. His first harvest taken by a thief.
He was robbed.
Yeah, somebody robbed it. Now he was very upset, but he wanted to find the person who did this.
Yeah.
He was very curious. And then he took a bell. We call it Gejivela, where normally farmers always use in cows. So they use this. And then he took that bell, went into the place, the city or town where the people are gathered, everybody going there to find their basic things. So then he also went to that place, the town, with that bell. He started to ring the bell and then he started to dance. Now he is dancing there. Unusual thing is happening there. Everybody who were there with different purpose, everybody flocked together and surrounding him. The farmer was dancing there. Then now the people surrounding him, then he started singing a song. The last sentences was, I can recognize the thief looking at his shoulder. That was the word that he used. In Sinhala we call it Puhul Hora Karendani. I can recognize the thief looking at his shoulder. Then there was a person who started to wipe up his shoulder. Then directly the farmer went and caught him. You are the person who took my ash melon. We call it Puhul Gediya.
Puhul, yeah.
So then, yes, he was the person. He took it. Then we have a question there. Was there any ash on his shoulder? No, no ash. So then what happened? When the farmer was singing a song mentioning about I can recognize the person looking at his shoulder, that person was living with doubt and fear because he knew the camera might not caught anything there. There wasn't any evidence there. Nobody's seen him. But his mind knew everything himself. I'm the person who did that. So then when he was listening to that sentences, right away his doubt and fear rise in his mind. He started to do that so then now we have lessons here. It doesn't matter what ethnic group that you belongs, what religions that you are practicing. If you did any of these against these precepts, or if you break any of these precepts, your doubt and fear rise in there. Therefore, we observe the precepts for what? To uplift our mental health, to develop our mind. But unfortunately, people around the world, they don't know meaning of these precepts. That's why they believe, oh, if I, just in case, if I say these precepts, I might become Buddhist. It's completely misunderstanding. No one can become Buddhist just observing precepts. But you can be a good human being observing these precepts.
I mean, I think it's an entirely different conversation to talk about being a Buddhist, the religion, and a true follower, yes, of the philosophy to be a better and good human being, as you say. You mentioned about our conscience, how regardless of where you hide from, how you can run away from your own actions, that your conscience will not really give way to you hiding from your own actions. I think this is something that you have continued to preach. Also, Bhante, I want to add to that question. We don't have much time. We also want to go in for a guided meditation with you. But you mentioned earlier how Sati, the Pali word Sati, or awakeness, our awareness, is affected by three factors: ignorance, desire, and anger. I'd like to focus on anger here a little, if we have the time. Anger is something that we all grapple, myself, people around me, friends, family. Sometimes we don't want to get angry, but we fall prey to this unexplainable emotion that comes out but is uncontrollable.
Yeah. Anger is the result of your desire and ignorance. Generally around the world, people are asking from us, what is the solutions for my anger? I'm a hot temperature person, I'm always living with angry. So then what kind of advices that you can give us? This is very normal questions around the world. But when we start to explain anger is the results of your ignorance and desire, no one can understand what is ignorance means. I'm holding 2 PhDs, I'm so and so, I graduate from that university, so therefore I don't have ignorance. That is not the meaning of ignorance in Buddhism. It is not something that you can get rid of through your educations. That is paper qualifications, and that is your education qualifications. Ignorance means not knowing the reality. For example, now we are living in this studio. We have idea, thoughts, all these things are existence. The way how we started, we think still we are here. Since the moment that we started here, we are continuing this. No. Each and every moment what happened, everything is subject to change. Not only me, not only you, even this environment, all these facilities that we have here, cameras, microphones, everything subject to change. The way how we started not existing anymore, had been changing. This is the nature. If someone quickly that they can come to this understanding, realization, that is the wisdom. So wisdom means you completely eradicate your ignorance. That is wisdom. So we are not in that process yet. We are in the process to achieve that goal. How long we are living with this ignorance, that long we have desire. How long we are living with this ignorance and desire, that long we are producing anger. So then solution is here, as much as we can, we have to control our ignorance and desire. So then as a result of that development, we can control our ignorance. This is the process. If you are living with anger, you have to be mindful to control your anger. What is the purpose of this anger? What is the reasons? You can realize when you start to think about, as a mundane person it might take time, but it doesn't matter. Be mindful, what is this? Anger. So then what is the reasons for this anger? Desire or ignorance. So then analyzing this manner, so then you can find a solutions yourself about your anger.
Bhante, unfulfilled desires coupled with the ignorance of the impermanence of this life, this being, you talk about it so generously, but I want to go back to inner happiness you spoke about, and contentment, we achieving contentment. Sometimes we have everything, but we see challenges, either a marriage breaks off, or something happens to a child, or you lose your job. At one point you feel like you have everything and you're happy, but some say it is karma that follows. But what or how do we use this as a tool to awakening? Is this a blessing in disguise to achieve a greater spiritual life and to awaken? We don't have much time, but
yes, very important thing. While we are living in this mundane life, yes, of course, there are so many traumas happening for us. As you mentioned, there are few things, only things that we have to develop ourselves to accept this nature. How long we reject it, that long we are suffering. How long we can accept it, that long we can be happy. So I have example with my teacher, my great teacher Bhante Ji. He's 98 years old. He always talking to me, I can't walk as I did. So he's accepting and enjoying that. Now I am using a walker. I used to walk 2 canes. I used to work 1 cane. I did not use any canes. Now gradually I am here in this position now. I know next step, what would be the next, I know that. He's accepting everything. He's telling about my sleep is not well like previous. I can't eat like in my previous times. So all these are accepting. Therefore, we have to develop very important quality as human beings. What is that? Equanimity. Equanimity is very important. Tolerance is there. Equanimity is a result of your practice. Generousness and observing precepts and purifying your mind and developing your mental health, and observances. Observances means precepts and meditation. These 3 activities are very important. If you are applying these activities, you don't want to go to temple, any places to do these things. Each and every day you can be generous. You can be generous yourself while you are eating. You can eat mindfully. By the power of this food that I am taking, there might be a lot of living beings. May they be rejoice these merits, rejoice these food as their food. May they be well, happy and peaceful. As well as I am taking this food to get rid of my uncomfortable situations. I'm hungry now. My body need food. I'm taking. You are practicing generosity. And also, while we are doing dishes, after doing your meals, that time also you can develop this metta thoughts with generousness. There would be unseen being, may they rejoice these as their food. May they be well, happy and peaceful. You are practicing generosity. So generousness is very important things to develop, put in your mind, to develop your mind, to gain your wisdom. So mindfulness is there. Generousness is there. Now you can see equanimity is there developing itself through these applications. So then you can control your anger there. But it does not mean living as a mundane person you can control completely your anger. No, it's not happening. Attaining Sotapanna, Sakadagami, even the Anagami stage, non-return stage, you have anger. When you attain full enlightenment, Arahant, that is the time completely you are able to eradicate your angry thoughts.
It's a long, difficult journey, but fulfilling one.
It's a long journey, but not difficult. The Buddha said himself, there are in particular suttas, I have been going through this path. If it is impossible to practice, I am not asking to practice anyone else.
On that note, Bhante Saddhajeewa, Venerable Saddhajeewa Thera, I want to thank you very much for the time you've spent with us here, but I invite you most respectfully to conduct a guided meditation that will help us apply your teachings in relation to the Lord Buddha's philosophy into daily practice, where we can move towards awakening and to seek that wisdom we have been talking about.
Thank you. Okay, then let's have a practical session, how to meditate, breathe-in meditation. The first thing is you have to pay attention about your body posture. As a meditator, we can use lotus posture or half lotus posture. Cross your legs, keep your palms together, right upon left. Take a deep and long breath and let it go slowly. Be relaxed. Again, take a deep and long breath and let it go slowly. Generally, we don't breathe in full 100%. Pay full attention to fill your lungs 100%, as well as try to empty your lungs 100%. Again, take a deep and long breath and let it go slowly. Be relaxed. Determine yourself, this is my meditation time. This is not the time to pay attention for past experiences or future plans. This is my meditation time. Cut off the whole world, come to this moment, living on cushion to practice meditation. Now your mind is relaxed as well as the body. You don't have anything in your mind. Your mind is relaxed. When you are developing your relaxations, mindfulness also increase in there. In this wonderful moment, let us pay attention on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. To practice mindfulness of breathing meditation, basically, there are 4 steps that you can follow. In first step, just pay attention on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't try to breathe in and out intentionally. Just focus on your natural inhalation and exhalation. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. When you are familiar to your breath, you can move into next step. Pay attention where air is touching when you are breathe in and out. It might be end of nostrils or upper lips. Keep there your mind and watch your breath. Inhalation and exhalation. Breathe in, breathe out. When you are familiar where air is touching, move into next step. In third step, be aware whether it is a short breath or a long breath. Sometimes we have short breath, sometimes we have long breath. Recognize long breath as a long breath, short breath as a short breath. Now you are familiar on your breath, inhalation and exhalation. You are familiar where air is touching, end of your nostrils or upper lips. Now you know the nature of your breath. Sometimes you have short breath, sometimes you have long breath. Short breath recognized as a short breath, long breath recognized as a long breath. Breathe in, breathe out. When you are familiar to all these steps of your breath, now you can move into the 4th steps. In the 4th step, now you can see starting of your breath, changes and departing of your breath. Starting, changing and departing. Starting, changing and departing. Breathe in, breathe out. You're not supposed to breathe in and out intentionally, just pay attention on your natural breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep your mind end of your nostril and watch your natural breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. While you are breathing in and out, you can analyze as well as you can pay attention what is happening there, the process. When you are breathing in, mean you are taking oxygen and filling your lungs, giving life for your trillions of cells in your body. Breathe out means you are taking out carbon dioxide, helping your trillions of cells. This is the meaning of breathing in and out. Normally, this happening without knowing. No one can stay without breathe in and out. Now you are paying attention and you are developing your mindfulness regarding your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. If someone not familiar on their breath, you can pay attention to your belly. What is happening there in the belly? It's filling and becoming empty. Breathe in, breathe out. Pay attention what is happening when you are engaging with breathe in and breathe out. What is happening to your belly? You can pay attention there. Breathe in, breathe out. Same time you can develop your mindfulness. You are helping these cells, trillions of cells, to survive. Breathe in, breathe out. Because of your breath, these trillions of cells are surviving, extending their lifespan. Breathe out, mainly focus, taking out your carbon dioxide. It is also productions of your body, but carbon dioxides are not supporting for your body. That's why you want to take out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Still you are practicing mindfulness of breathing meditation as a samatha meditation technique, tranquil meditation. If someone has some experience with this technique, they can turn into vipassana, insight meditation, same technique. Breathing meditation you can practice as a samatha as well as vipassana. In vipassana technique, you have to develop your mindfulness to see the nature, the reality of your breath. Painful attention on your breath, you can see no one can survive without breathe in and out. It's a natural phenomena. Whenever you stop breathe in and out, that would be the last moment of this existence. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now you can pay attention to analyze the breath. No one can survive without breathe in and out, but the breath is not me, the breath is not myself, the breath is not mine either. So then what is the breath? it is a process. In this process, what you can see, rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling. This is the process that you can see through this, your breathing exercise. So then what is happening here? The breath is changing, rising and falling. It is impermanence. The breath is not something existing. It's arising and vanishing. That is the nature of your breath. When you are breathing, not just only your breath, even your nostril and consciousness of nose, as well as mind consciousness, is being changing. Each and every moment, not just only breath, even the nose consciousness and mind consciousness, all these are changing. All these are impermanence. Which is impermanent, that is full of suffering, unsatisfactoriness is there. If there is something impermanence, unsatisfactory, such a things no one can take as me, myself. Selflessness is there. Painful attention on your breath, taking the breath as an example, you can see the reality. This is the nature of the universe. Rising, falling, rising, falling. Not only you, even others, any living beings, what is happening there, they are also in same process, breathe in, breathe out. Each and every moment, changing everything. Nothing exists. Painful attention on your breath, you can analyze the nature, the reality, universal nature. Through this universal nature, you can realize the truth. What is that truth? Impermanence, suffering, selflessness. We are developing our mindfulness to see this reality, the nature. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You can continue this practice as much as you can. Whenever you notice the mind is going away from the objects, come back and start again. Just pay attention on your natural breath to see the process of that breath rising and falling, rising and falling.
Venerable Dr. Ethkandawaka Saddhajeewa Thera, most respectfully, we thank you for your time here during your very brief visit here in Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much. May you all be well, happy and peaceful.
We had with us Venerable Bhante Ethkandawaka Saddhajeewa Thera, who is Dr. Ethkandawaka Saddhajeewa Thera, a holder of the doctorate from the University of West Virginia in Rosemead, California, with research focus on mindfulness for substance abuse recovery, and also a master's degree in psychology, sociology and education, and is a teacher of meditation and Dhamma at the Bhavana Society in West Virginia in the United States. Thank you very much for joining us on this program, and we wish you all the very best in achieving your inner peace and happiness.
Sati. Awaken to the present.